Hey, what's going on, team? Welcome to today's daily sprint, starting our day off with purpose, passion, and meaning, or continuing our day with purpose, passion, and meaning. So today what we're talking about is if we're imprisoned, if all of our liberties are taken away. I'm going to share some examples of this. So all of these amazing liberties that we have are just stripped of you. Picture that. You're in a prison unjustly. All of that's taken away. The one thing that when you boil us all down to, if you take away the car, the money, the house, even our relationships, take it all away, the one thing that we have is our freedom to choose our attitude. And I think the second that we grasp the depth of that statement, it is absolutely the difference between life and death. And I want to explain to you a few examples of this. So just getting through the book, The Second Mountain, tough read, but good read, a lot of wisdom in here. And he talks about a few examples. One, I believe, is Viktor Frankl. I think I might be mispronouncing or misstating that name, but he lived in a Nazi concentration camp. And he survived the most deplorable conditions ever. And the way that he did it was he had to think outside of himself. So when he was getting beaten and starved and enslaved, he wasn't like, oh my gosh, how am I going to survive this? What he would do is he would divert and have conversations of his wife, who may have been dead, who may have been being brutalized. He had no idea. She was in another camp, probably. He was in his camp. But that's what kept him going, is externally. And he would have conversations with his wife, and she would say, I love you, and he'd say, I love you. And that diverted and eventually gave him, one of many things that gave him the courage to survive this camp. He wasn't just concerned, oh, what about me? What about me? And psychologists found that the people that didn't have something externally to live for, didn't make it in these types of situations. So what he found is, I have the power. Nobody can take the power away from my attitude on this situation. Nobody can take that power away from you. Unbelievable. There was a Soviet prisoner, and instead of him, when he was being abused and in these horrible situations, he diverted attention. Actually, this is miraculous. He diverted attention instead of to himself, oh my gosh, how am I going to lift this, to the guard that was abusing him. And he said, you know what? If I grew up like this guard, if I was subjected to whatever this guard was subjected, maybe I would be the one doing the beating. Oh my gosh, that is so powerful. Could you imagine being beaten, enslaved, and as a form to look outside of your pain internally, going externally and being like, maybe I would have done the same thing. And that's what got him through, is understanding that psychology. Unbelievable. There was a very privileged Jewish woman in a Nazi concentration camp. She's very privileged. She went from having a ton to having literally nothing. And what she did outside of her, I would say it sounds corny if there was different context, but she actually befriended a tree. She would talk to a tree, and oddly enough, this tree would kind of communicate back. The point being is, she looked for something outside of her. So in your business, when you're getting hit, when the universe, when life is hitting you, what do you have outside of you that's going to keep you going? That's the lesson in today's daily sprint. What do you have outside of you? Let me know in the comments. What outside of you is going to keep you going when everything else is in danger of being taken away? Thanks for joining in today. You have a great growth-driven rest of your day.